Got some nice stuff for you to gonna talk about this one. I have a lot of pictures. Gonna talk about what happened in Australia and about I have a lot of pictures. Spaceship of King Anu. We're gonna talk about Prophet Daniel, mentioned in the Holy Bible. But before that, we're gonna start to figure out this relation between Yahweh and El. We know Yahweh is the God of Israel, and we know that Israel is a word uh, consists of two words, Isra and El, and we know El sometimes is considered the same God as Yahweh, sometimes not. So I was trying to figure out what they say about this stuff because we know that in Ugarit, that's in Syria, they had a Trinity, a God called El, the father, and he had a son called Baal, Baal, and this Baal, he had a wife called Ashira, and we know that Ashira um, was married also to Yahweh. So in that case, we know that Baal is Yahweh, but some say El is actually Yahweh, the Father God in the Ugari Trinity, but they cannot agree on who is El, although we know that El is in Israel, and we know like Prophet Daniel, we have the El in the end, referring to the God El. So even Jesus Christ, he was talking to El. On the cross, he said, Ilu or Ili, Ili, lama shabaktani, meaning, God, God, why did you leave me? Because um, El can means Ilah in the Semitic languages, and Ilah means God. So they say Yahweh is the name, and El or Il or even Ilu means God, just like Allah, Ilah. So let's start reading on this one. So this is a new January 25, 10. I thought Yahweh was a Canaanite God under El, but I'm hearing Yahweh is not found in Ugaritic text. What's going on? So we don't have Yahweh in Ugarit, and Ugarit, they have like I said, El, the father, and Baal, the son. We talked about Haddad, who was married also to Ashira. Haddad was the storm god, the god of the thunder, and he was also married to Ashira. So we have Baal married to Ashira, and we have Yahweh married to Ashira, and we have Baal, Haddad, and Yahweh may be the same God who was married to Ashira. Or maybe these three guys, different gods, married to Ashira. She's maybe had three husbands. So let's read here. I thought Yahweh was a Canaanite god under El, but I'm hearing Yahweh is not found in Ugaritic text. What's going on? The question of whether Yahweh originated as a Canaanite deity under El or arose independently is a complex and evolving area of research. So they cannot agree. They cannot say, because if they say Yahweh is not El, then people will ask, why is all the prophets Daniel, like Daniel, you have El, like Israel, they have El, like these guys, they have El in the end. And if Yahweh is not El, why, like the state of Israel is called Israel using the name of El? If El is not Yahweh, why is not called Israel Yahweh? Understand, people? So, or Israel or Israel Yahu. So they have this major problem with the if Yahweh is El or if El is Yahweh. So absence, there's no Yahweh in Ugarit, and I told you Yahweh, the name Yahweh, it appears later on. And we don't have outside the Bible. We don't have much about Yahweh. We have Yahu, Shasu in 15 BC. They worship this the nomad tribes. They were nomads. They worshiping Yahu, and we know that that was in Egypt. And the Shasu, they were tribes, nomads, and they were writing Yahu. But Yahu is also Egyptian moon god. So Yahu is not Yahweh. This is two different gods. Yahu is moon god. And then we have in Egypt also from around 1000 BC a picture showing Yahweh and his wife Asherah as goat. And maybe you're gonna check this picture if you have time. But because of that, we know that also Hathor, the moon goddess in Egypt, was represented as a cow. So when Moses supposed to have met Yahweh, that was in 15 BC. So that was when they discovered that the one who was meeting Moses on the volcano mountain was Yahweh, but nobody knew about this name, and there were no other sources for that name. It came later on, like I said, uh, 500 years after that, they found a drawing showing Yahweh as a cow, with his wife Asherah also as a cow. So let's read here. Absence in the Ugarit text. Yahweh does not appear by name in the Ugarit text, which is a rich source of information about the Canaanite religion. I told you before that Yahweh is a Canaanite God because the whole region were called Canaanites. Even Israelites were called Canaanites. They have the same tradition, same culture. And this is, we are talking 1200 BC before Jesus Christ. And this is when the Ugarit kingdom. This text describes the pantheon or the trinity of a Canaanite deities, including El, the chief god. Now, El is used in the word Israel. And we know even El Elohim is the plural of El, like Elohim gods, but actually Elohim is like describing the El. Like in Islam, we have Allahumma, also from El. Allahumma, they pray to Allah, and to Allahumma, who is Allah, other word for Allah. The chief god, Baal, Anat, Ashira, and Ashira. So Anat is Ashira, but Yahweh is not mentioned. So potential overlap. Some scholars have speculated that Yahweh might have originally been a little or aspect of El or Baal. They don't know if El was Yahweh or Baal was Yahweh. Baal means Lord even, but Baal was the one who, like they did this child sacrifice to this deity. So Baal is like enemy of God. Anyways, we move on. However, the lack of explicit reference to Yahweh in Ugarit sources weakens the theory. They are saying, these guys, there's no Yahweh in Ugarit pantheon. That means that Yahweh origins is not from Ugarit. So let's try to understand this, what they are trying to say, and agree with these guys. So the theories of origin of Yahweh, southern origin, some scholars propose Yahweh originated in southern regions of the Levant. So we're talking Syria. Syria is the northern regions of the Levant. These guys are talking about Egypt and Saudi Arabia, Midian. This is Saudi Arabia. This is Adum. This is Sinai, Egypt, Sinai High Peninsula, like Deuteronomy 33 to mention Yahweh coming from regions associated with Syre and Paran, um, most likely Egypt, Saudi Arabia, these regions. Assimilation with El in early Israelite religion, Yahweh may have been identified with or subordinated to El, like his son, the head of the Canaanite pantheon. Over time, Yahweh supplanted El as central deity of Israel. So El was worshipped as God in Israel in the beginning, but Yahweh, he became El. So El is God for the Canaanite religions, for the Canaanite people. Arabs, there were no Arabs that time. We're talking about Phoenicians, we're talking about the Ugarit, we're talking about Israelites, we're talking about the Hebrew. These guys, they worshipped El as, but El is like, been cut again. Continue. We were talking about Yahweh, and we've been cut here. So yeah, we're talking about El as is it Yahweh? Is it not Yahweh? So the Hebrew Bible frequently use El or Elohim, plural. You often use it singly for God as status for Yahweh. This suggests an early phrase where Yahweh is equated with El. So El is the name of God, and Yahweh can be called El because El is the name of God, the name for God. So El like Allah, like God, and Yahweh is the name. This is what I'm trying to say. Distinctive features. Yahweh is distinct from other Canaanite deities too. He is strong associated with convent theology, ethical monotheism. So Yahweh is not like the other gods. He's the only God. Like when Yahweh is he cannot be compared because he's only God. And lack of mythological narratives. So there's no mythology in involving the divine conflict, like Baal battles with Yam and Mut. So Baal's battle with Yam. We talked about Yam. This is God of the water. We talked about Jesus Christ and the Yeshua. We talked about the Ye is for Yam, and we talked association. We talked also about the prophethood in the Holy Quran, and what's called later on Yahud. They're giving the name for the Jews for the Yah from Yam, and we know the Hud is associated with fertility and with water, and Hud, the prophet, was like a prophet in the desert, and then this city where he was at, it was fertile and a lot of water, and then it become dry. So it's associated with the water. So Yam or Yahud, associated with water, and Yam had the god of the ocean got to a conflict with Baal, who is associated with the sun. And we know that even Mordechai, in the Babylonian story, he defeated Tiamat, who is like ocean, the ancient ocean, even called the dragon. And we know that Mut is the god of the death. So Baal had a fight with the water, and Baal won. So this is also Marduk. So this is from the Babylonian Marduk. Mordechai also won against Tiamat, and Tiamat was married to Abzu, and Abzu, we got all these gods, even Enki, Enlil, Anu. So Abzu even associated with King An, who was the king of Sirius, who was married to the Orion queen. So King An, and they had also King An um, actually was the like king of Sirius with the queen. They had this fight with the queen, so they married to settle down this conflict. And we know that the queen, uh, the queen of Orion, she had a son from Anu called Enki Adonai, and we know even King An had another wife. Um, so he got Anu uh, and Enlil, but we don't know really if um, it is actually King An who is a reincarnation of King Anu. Who he got before he got King Anu, he got like we have King An and Tiamat. They have a lot of. Let's see here if we have this. Let's see here if we have this family tree with King Anu, Abzu. So if we look at these gods, they have so Tiamat and family tree. Let's see if we have it here. So it will be very much easier to compare. So here we have it, people. So we have Abzu married to Tiamat. Tiamat is the queen, sometimes called the dragon. You see, salt water married to sweet water, Abzu, and I call Abzu the King An. And then they had Anshar, Anshar who is planet Saturn, and Kishar. And Anshar, also called here Earth and Heaven. Kishar, Ki means earth, and An, from An, you see Anu. An is heaven, so they have written wrong. They have written heaven here. Actually, heaven is Anshar, and earth is Kishar. And we know Enki, Enki, An, and Ki. So Anki, heaven and earth. But we got Anu here, King Anu, from Anshar and Kishar. And this is, like I said, he married Ki, and then he got Enki and even Enlil. You see here. So yeah. So Enki, some say he is from Namu directly, from the Queen of Orion. And this lady was defeated by Marduk. And who is Marduk? He is here, Marduk. So when they get their children, this god rebelled against his grandmother and killed her. And even he killed Apsu. So because he killed her, he made out of her body the earth and the Milky Way, and the flat earth. Earth theory came from this struggle because he flattened up her body. It was a planet and became flat. And that's why we have people believing in the flat earth. Understand, people? So this is so some people meaning Anshar actually is Saturn, and that's why they say Saturn like the first planet that was created. So these are planets as well, like Earth, but actually it's Kishar, and heaven is Anshar. So this is the holy bloodline to Marduk. So Marduk actually is god of Babylon. But he is mentioned in the Bible, and the Bible says, "I will punish Marduk, king of Babylon, and I will make him vomit out all the presents, all the gifts he has gotten from the people." And we talked about here Nana, the moon god, and we talked about Enlil, and these guys also like Enlil and Sin. We have Enlil, like Enlil talked about Enlil, like Elijah, and because it's written Enlil also, Enlil like Elijah, you see Elijah, also Ali in Holy Quran. Also we have Ali, father of Hussein. Here we have seen Hussein, Hussein. We got this stuff also from in the Holy Quran. So yeah, and we have here also Tammuzid. Tammuzid, he gave his name to the capital city of Damascus, and he was married to Inanna. Inanna, also called Vista, and Danel, Vista, from the word star, and the movie was the one most popularized he was a shepherd, like British guy. He was killed and he went to the underworld and he was killed by Zeus, killed him and he went to take revenge but God protected Zeus, sent him the angel meaning Zida. I don't know if meaning Zida is here. No, it's not. Meaning Zida. So the movie is the two, one of the two angels protecting the tree of life. Only Biru in the kingdom of Islam. Yeah, let's go back here. We were talking about this stuff. So why Yahweh is not in Ugari text? So uh, Ugarit was a northern Canaanite city in Syria, and Pantheon reflects regional religious traditions. If Yahweh originated in south, may have been unknown in Ugarit. So they mean that Yahweh distinct deity have nothing to do with El in Ugarit. Yahweh may have gained prominence after the Ugarit text was composed and the city was destroyed circa 1200 BC. So Yahweh absence from Ugarit text suggests he was not part of the traditional Canaanite pantheon as understood in Ugarit. This supports theories that Yahweh was either a southern deity who entered the Israelite religious framework later or a deity with distinct origins who became central to Israelite identity. This development reflects dynamic and syncretic nature of the ancient Near. So now I'm talking about Jacob and Joseph. They knew Yahweh because they were from that region, from southern of Canaan. Is it not important Yahweh not appear in Ugarit? So yeah, you're absolutely right to challenge the assumption that absence of Yahweh in Ugarit text necessarily diminish importance of relevance. So connection to Ugarit, so Yahweh is not worshipped in Ugarit. This is what they are trying to say. He was not known in Ugarit, but he was known in the southern Canaanite regions, but not in the northern Canaanite regions. But so yeah. So let's read further. So we have here. I read this one. So let's read here. I was asking, did Ugarit worship Yahweh? So here they are saying that it was actually in southeastern ancient Levant, the natural god of the Iron Age kingdom of the Israel and Judah. So let's see Wikipedia to be sure what we are reading here. So he was an ancient Semitic deity in the southeastern ancient Levant and Iron Age. And this is here a picture depicting Yahweh. You see here, this is Yahweh. And yeah, so here, because the Israelites religion was a derivative of Canaanite religion. I don't know what this means. Let's check this the meaning of this word. something like, I don't really know. Let's see here. Trying in other language. So, anyways, we continue. We don't know really what that means. So, include a variety of deities. So, we have again here, this is Canaanite religion, El, Ashira, and Baal. So, El, the father, Ashira, married to Baal, Baal, the son of El. Yahweh likely became conflated with El. So, conflated, like uh, mixed, combined, combined into one. So, two become one. So here they are saying exactly the opposite what we have been reading in the beginning of the video. Here are they are saying Yahweh is El. See, we have this contradiction. So you can ask any Jew, you don't get to have one opinion. You can ask any scientist or who is studying the Bible, they never give you an answer. If you ask them, is Yahweh El? They don't know. But here they are saying Yahweh is El. But when we were reading from the other one in the beginning, they said absolutely Yahweh is not El. Although they have El in all these prophets, and the name of Israel, it's including El. And this is El here, origin Ugarit in Syria. So it was combined with El in later centuries. So El consort is Ashira. So this is now saying that the wife of El was Ashira, became associated with Yahweh. So we have also now confirmation Yahweh was married to Ashira, and Ashira was married to El, and El Al Shaddai. So characteristics of other deities such as Ashira and Baal were also, so even Ashira and Baal were also selectively absorbed in exception. So Ashira, Baal, and El, all these three gods become one called Yahweh. So three gods, they become one. Very, very complicated. Not, they don't know. They just are giving a lot of theories. They don't really know. They are not agreeing on this thing. They're not agreeing on this thing. So the question is clear. Is Yahweh El? Is El the God of Ugarit? Is Yahweh? They don't know. They don't know. They say sometimes yes, they say sometimes no. Very confused, very confusing, and very confusing indeed. Trying to figure out what they are saying. Everybody has an opinion, but they are not saying. Ask a real clear question. They are not giving an answer. Is Yahweh El? Is El Yahweh? Nobody's giving an answer for that. Very confusing indeed. If not, why they are using El in the prophets and in the word of Israel? Why they are using the El in Israel, in Daniel, and the other prophets? So here we have, this is what I'm talking about. That El, our Yahweh, was married to Ashira, and here you see Yahweh and his wife depicted as a cow, and this is 800 BC. This is the only source outside the Bible showing Yahweh as a cow. with his wife. And this is the only uh, source outside the Bible. We have another source, the nomads called the Shasu. They were worshipping the god Yahoo, but like we said, Yahoo is the moon god from Egypt. So we have Eliah. So they say Eliah, and they say Yah, and we talked about Yah from Yeh, from Yam, god of water, also. So Eliah or Eliah. Does, so here we have it also. Yahweh became conflated with El, even though El was the original head. So you are trying to take away the original name that is El, and you're putting a new name instead to confuse. There's no Yahweh. El came first. So use El. Continue using El and take out this name. You will have a lot more easy to treat this subject because Yahweh came later on and the El is the original head of the pantheon in Ugarit. And they used the name Yahweh instead of El. So we have very, very confused. They don't know really if El is Yahweh or Yahweh is El. They don't really know. And this is a lot of I don't know, this will help us. This is what they have written. So let's go further. Did Ugarit worship Yahweh? So is the theory that Yahweh began as Canaanite deity El taken seriously in biblical scholarship? Yahweh himself does not appear to have a Canaanite god in origin. For example, doesn't appear. This is we have read. So was a Jewish Yahweh closely associated with El, the king of Ugarit pantheon? So yes, Yahweh was worshipped during the early centuries in Israel and Judah, although it is thought that Yahweh only entered. So here are saying that is not worshipped in Canaanite. Here they are saying yes, Yahweh is El. Here they are saying no, Yahweh is not El. They don't know. They are confused. And here they say Yahweh was not Canaanite. So Yahweh was not El. They don't really know people. They are confused about the stuff, but they are using the word El because every prophet, they have the prophets' names in the end, like El in the end. So since Yahweh or El originally separate deities, the question is raised whether Yahweh originated. So let's read this one. The Canaanite traditionally thought of Yahweh as being one of the sons of El. Now he is the son. They don't really know. And they say the Trinity, El, Baal, and Asherah become all three gods become one God called Yahweh. They don't really know. Yeah, they are saying now that is not the same God. Here they are saying Canaanites are ancient Hebrews. They really don't know. They don't really know about their own religion. You ask, you don't get the real answer. So these guys are really confused. I don't know what to say about it. I want to have an answer. They really don't know. They worship a deity. They don't know who it is. Very confused. Here they are saying that they're not the same. Yahweh is the only God. El is a bad, evil God. Here they are saying El is the most high God, who is Yahweh. Here they're saying El is only God, Yahweh and other sons of El are evil. Here are saying Yahweh is one of El. You see? Yahweh is messenger of God from El or Baal. They really don't know, people. They really don't. They are confused. So we don't want to engage this in confusion. We don't want to do that. It's not our, it is their problem, not our problem. All right? It's not our problem. It is their problem. And they're gonna deal with the problem. They're gonna learn the hard way. They're gonna, somebody will ask them one day, do you worship El or Yahweh? Oh, we thought Yahweh is El. No, no, you didn't thought. You didn't even think about it. You didn't even think about it. You said, oh, we worship El. Oh, we worship Yahweh. Oh, we worship Baal. Oh, we worship Asherah. They don't know. They are confused. They are confused. They don't know you are worshiping. This is the problem here with these guys. They don't really know. So nothing against Jews and Israel. They don't really know who is their God. They say we're not going to say who is God. So I get mad, really mad. You need to deal with this stuff. This is serious stuff, people. You go worshiping a God, you don't know who it is. Very, very confused. So let's forget about that one. Sorry, I've been shouting as well. This is, we don't get the answer. I get confused. So here they are saying that Yahweh actually it was a lesser deity among the Canaanite pantheon. So the sun is Baal. Baal is Yahweh. Here they're saying that Yahweh is Baal. And yeah, become mixed or combined with El. How certain we are Yahweh originally a Canaanite storm god? Like I said, Haddad, the husband of Asherah, was a thunder god, was a storm god. Yahweh was originally a pagan deity of the Canaanites. They are saying Yahweh is Baal, the son of El, associated with storms. The Canaanites did not have a god Yahweh. They don't really know. They don't really know. They messed up, people. How can you trust anybody who does not really know who is their God? So here Yam, you see, Sea River, this is the God Yam, and this is Yahweh. Was Yahweh originally Adamite? So already 38 minutes trying to figure out who is Yahweh. This video is called Daniel, Prophet of God. And we have this information will shock you that Daniel actually originated from Ugarit. So Yahweh worship can be backed all the way to ancient religion of Canaan. So I'm begging any Jew, any Israeli, like they know about the religion, to help me figure out. I'm asking, is El Yahweh, is El of Ugarit the same as Yahweh? They don't know. The book is structured Canaan relating the term Yahweh, El, Asherah, Baal, Ashtarte, Anat. Yahweh, son of Canaanite God, debunking a dangerous theory. So they don't really know. So is the theory Yahweh began as Canaanite deity El taken seriously as biblical scholarship? Yahweh himself does not appear to have a Canaanite God in origin. For example, it does not appear. We read this one. Canaanite traditionally thought of Yahweh as being one son of El. Here, confusion. Yahweh was thought to many gods separate from El. So there's some one time they say it is El, sometimes it's not El. Yahweh originally was God of war. Very, very confused. The Canaanite father of gods was El, but Yahweh became. This is the good one. In Ugarit, the god Il or El is Greek portrayed as supreme god of the Bronze Age Canaanite pantheon, but we don't know if this is Yahweh. So very, very confused. So let's start here about Daniel, the prophet of God in the Holy Bible, in Old Testament Bible. So let's read of Daniel. Daniel, actually, his name is Danel. So a little puzzle in SQL shows up in SQL 14 and 28 when SQL refers to Daniel. This issue is whether SQL Danel refers to a figure from well before the time of David, where it refers to the 6th century BC Jewish exile Daniel of the Babylonian court, or both. So we have two Daniel, one lived around 1000 BC and one lived around the 6th century 600 BC. So one was related to the Babylonian um, era, the Babylonian uh, uh, when they came and attacked the Israelites, and the other one is lived 1000 BC. So they don't know really when the Bible is talking about Daniel, which Daniel. So we have two Daniels. So let's this one. So SQL 14, Son of man, when the land sinned against me by trespassing, they all stretch out my hand. I will break the staff of the bread and will send famine upon all cut of man and beast. So we have these three men, Noah, the flood, Danel, it's written like this, Danel and Job. This like a holy man, and they have this righteousness, said the God, the Lord God. So the ancient Hebrew text spells Danel in these verses the same spelling as for the ancient Canaanite figure, rather than the spelling of the book of Daniel, exile Daniel. The inclines to think that Ezekiel was more likely referring to the ancient Canaanite figure. Now we have a connection. So what's the connection between Daniel and Danel? It is the same guy from the Ugarit. And if he was referring to the biblical exile Daniel, I would expect Excel to use the same biblical spelling, nothing less the medieval Masoretes. Add vowel dots to the Daniel and SQL text that makes it look like Daniel and would make it sound like the English pronunciation of Daniel. So they added vowels. So SQL names Danel in 1414 between Noah and Job, which implies to me that SQL Danel lived between the time of those two figures before the time of the 6th century. So they are referring to the Daniel who lived 1000 BC, not the Daniel who lived 600 BC. And this is take us to the Ugarit era around 1200 BC. The Canaanite legend, they had a prophet in the Canaanite religion was called Danel. And this Danel is mentioned in the Bible as Daniel and is called prophet of Yahweh. Although they didn't worship Yahweh in Canaanite religion in Ugarit, they worshipped El. So now we understand how they connect. So Eskil implies that Daniel is righteous like Noah and Job, is prophet. But he was from Ugarit. This is what they are saying, not me. The association of Danel with Noah and Job. Placing Danel's name between their word would normally imply that Ezekiel was talking about well-known pre-Mosaic righteous Danel, figure who was loyal to God, Jehovah, like they were. However, while the Canaanite legend portrays pre-Mosaic Danel figure as admirable for his love for his son, the legend also portrays him as pious to some Canaanite gods. This aspect of Canaanite pagan Danel gods. So they call the Canaanite pagan whenever they are not worshiping Yahweh, they call it pagan. Okay, so now we know that Danel was not worshiping Yahweh. So we know that Danel was pagan, although he was a prophet in the Holy Bible, because he was not worshiping Yahweh according to what we are reading. So Ezekiel knew of an Israelite non-pagan version of the legend of pre-Mosaic Danel or also. So Ezekiel, he borrowed Danel from the Ugarit, and he said that was a prophet, although it is a pagan prophet that did not worship Yahweh. Understand, people? So so we have it, people. So let's take all these guys and take out. So we have this one here, the Raphaim. So Raphaim, let's read about these guys. The Raphaim, sons of gods. So we have this so-called Raphaim or Rapum in ancient texts, also in the Bible, of course, but it is origin from the Ugarit. So we have this Yogef begins with the Ugarit evidence. So key 2U 1.20, this is the Ugarit tablets. So describes a group, perhaps 7 or 8 of Rapum, who are called both divine ones or gods and heroes and men. They came to the feast on chariots, spaceships. Here we have spaceships in Ugarit religion, people. And we noticed that the Hebrews, the Israelites, they borrowed this prophet Daniel from Ugarit, and we are connecting to the spaceships. We are showing spaceship of King Anu, and we are talking here about spaceships that were used by warriors, kings, and deities, even gods. They use spaceship. This is the evidence, people. When I show you spaceship of God Anu, people they say, what kind of a god who rides a spaceship? But this is come from Ugarit religion. So Danilu with them. So they have Danilu, the original name of Daniel, of Danel is Danilu. This is Ilu, Don, and Ilu. Ilu is El. Also, we're gonna check this out. So who is Danilu? It defines a Marzech festival attended by the Rapum. So this is also in the Bible, people. So they have this. If you have knowledge about the Old Testament Bible, they have this Marzich festival. It is a Hebrew word. These feasts enjoyed by the upper class included drinking a great deal of wine and great celebration of the time of mourning. There's no necessary connection with the dead. Yogev assumed that Ilu, who's Ilu? Is it El? Let's check this out. Ilu. So this is cannot be Yahweh. We are talking about Igarit. So Ilu cannot be Yahweh. Agreed? Because this is talking about, they didn't say Yahweh is from Ugarit. They say it is from southern Canaan. We're talking about northern Canaan. Ilu. Let's say Ilu. Who is Ilu? Ilu is Danjir. Tanjir is Tangari. Tangari, this is in Turkey. They used to worship Tangari before Allah. So means it's like El, Ilah, Allah, God, Diti, Ilu, Bet Ilani, the house of God, Il Ali, the God of the city, Ilanu, we have Anu here, favored by the gods, Il Rabiu, Rab, from Rabbi, Rabbi is God also here, Lord, Ilil, supreme God, the God of God. So we know Ilu is name of God, another name of God, Ilu. So we have Ilu in Syriac, Allah. So now we have the word Allah in the Holy Quran from Ilu, origin Ilu in Syriac. So the word Allah, origin Syriac, Allah is not a name, meaning Allah means El. El means God. This is Hebrew El. Ugarit, they call El Il. So now we understand why they have El in Israel, because it's connecting to the God or the Lord. So Il, Diti, prosemitic, Aluha, Allah, El, Il. So now we go back. So Ilu, also known as Yahweh, God, or Allah. So make connection between Yahweh and Allah. Very, very important stuff. So here we have it. Introduction to El, the Supreme Sky God in Canaanite. He was called Anu. This is the prophet of God, Anu. So now we know Daniel is the prophet of God, Anu or Anu. And this is An, Sumerian, El, Phoenician, Hebrew, Syriac, El or Ilah. So this is how we have now El. We have El, we have Ilu, we have Anu, we have Yahweh, and we have Allah. So Ilu. So now we know the connection between Allah and Yahweh and Anu. We don't really know who is who. Very confused. But we know that Ugarit, they used Ilu, like the Israelite used El. So now we understand the connection between the Ugarit and the Israelite, the Canaanite, and even the Sumerian they used, like I showed you in the family tree, they used Anu. But we know that the Sumerian is before the Canaanites and before the Israelites and before the Hebrew. So the name of the sky god was Anu. So Anu before all these names. All right? Before Yahweh, before Illah, before Allah, before Ilu, before understand. So it's very easy to figure out who came first because of the Sumerian, like I showed you the tree. So continue reading here. We have assumes that Elu gives the invitation. So Elu, the god, he says to the spaceships, come down to receive the food. Come down. Spaceships, we are talking about spaceships. So it suggests that they interact with Baal, Anat, Elu, and others. The people, they interact. They worship in Ugari, they worship Baal, they worship Anat, who is Ashira, they worship Elu or El. They are demigod, kings, and leaders in Agat myth. Danilu, the man of Rapu, is mentioned. He is a judge for the weaker members of society. He is beloved by gods and fellowships with them. He is anciently childless, but has a daughter and a son. By the end of the story, as Yogev notes, Danilu is the most famous of Rarapum and only one named in both Ugarit and biblical sources. So Daniel is mentioned in Bible and in Ugarit, origin Ugarit. Danilu from Elu, and we saw that Elu can even be Anu. In the Baal cycle, the Rapum may be described as under Shapsu, the sun gods, and may be described as divine. The Rapum of the land appears Kirta myth where they appear with a group of Ditanu. Here we have another Anu. You have suggested Rapum who are alive. The name Ditanu also occurs in two Assyrian lists and genealogy of like Ilanu, um, Hammurabi dynasty. We know that Hammurabi also worshipped Anu, so just like occurs in two Assyrian. So let's read about Hammurabi connection to Anu. This is like a prophet from the Sumerian and Anu. So So let's read here. We have this after conquering Rimsin in kingdom, Hammurabi of Babylon started to invoke Anu and Enlil. Understand, people? So we go back, just showing you the connection between Hammurabi and Anu. So this is Hammurabi dynasty, and Titanu. See, ancestor. They used Anu in the end, like Ilanu, Titanu, and this is because Anu is the name of the sky god, and we know that Daniel is from Ugarit, Ditanu. Understand, people? Like they say, Israel, Daniel. They had Anu in the beginning, and they changed to El, and then they changed to Yahweh, just to confuse people. You see why? Just to confuse people. So this stuff here talking about spaceship. So now we connect the spaceship to the Bible directly. Now you understand the connection between the Bible, God, and the spaceships. Yeah, so here we're talking about the Nephilim. Talked about the Nephilim, talked about they were in Syria, in Bashan, in Mount Hermon. This is Bashan, this is Suwaida. It's called Suwaida here. This is a mountain in Suwaida where we had a lot of fighting between the new government in Syria and these guys, the Rus community. They have this Bashan mountain. This is the giants. We have also the giants landing on Mount Hermon that is recently occupied by Israel between Lebanon and Syria, the highest mountain in that region, very, very high mountain, always snow on the top. This is where the giants, they agreed on sleeping with women and not betraying each other, the fallen angels, the fallen Anunnakis, and we have also King Og. We have King Og. This is like Gog and Magog. This region, Gog and Magog. Jesus Christ was also in Syria. This is the holy near the Mount Hermon. This is why it's called Syria. It's called the Holy Land, like Palestine, Israel, and Lebanon. All called Holy Land. Sometimes called Greater Israel, sometimes called Greater Syria. This is we have giants. We have also giants in Israel, south from Jerusalem, and this is Raphaim. And giants are present in Israel. So also mentioned in Genesis. So this is the giants, and they were wiped out with the Noah flood. And so we have also here Iran, the armies of Elam. These guys, they took out the Sumerian culture. They came from the west, from the east to the west, and they even came Transjordan. So now we know about Gog and Magog and the connection to the giants. We talked about the Battle of Armageddon and why the connection to the Holy Land will happen. The Holy Land, all these. You know that here we have Ashtarut, Ashtarte, Ashira, and Esther. Esther, wife of Baal, Baal, and wife of Hadad, the storm god. Also, we know that Yahweh is the storm god and the thunder god. So now it's more understandable how everything connects to the spaceships. Understands people. So nothing new. This culture of spaceships in the Bible, from the Bible, it is in the Bible. So we have also Ugarit and this about spaceships. So a lot of in common between the Ugarit and the Bible, the Old Testament Bible. And the Nephilim also mentioned in Ugarit, also in Genesis and Deuteronomy connects Og as he was a giant. He was the last one of the giants living in the Bashan in South Syria with the Rephaim. And we talked about Mount Hermon, the highest mountains in between Syria and Lebanon, occupied by Israel, and in the Golan Heights. And we talked again about Elu, considered the sites of Ashtarut. And this is west of Jordan River. God gives to land of Israel, as Yoga refers to Rephaim Genesis. So we have the Philistines, talked about the Philistines as being the Canaanites, as being as called Prime Minister Netanyahu, who called these guys the giants, the Amalekites. They connect them to the giants, to the Gog and Magog. And that's why he was trying to give a reason for why he was supposed to kill all these Palestinians because they are connected to the giants. And he called them the giants, the Amalekites, meaning in Hebrew, the giants. Prime Minister Netanyahu considered the Palestinians as children of the giants. Very dangerous to connect in that way, meaning he is determined to slaughter all the Palestinians because he believes these guys are from the fallen Anunnakis. So very, very dangerous Prime Minister Netanyahu. Very sorry for Israelis being killed, Jews celebrating in Australia. Very, very sad. It was two guys from ISIS. They went in to the festival. They had the festival on the beach celebrating Hanukkah, and they start shooting, and they killed like a lot. 15 people were killed, mostly Jews. Very sad. You know, ISIS, they got excited. They killed, unfortunately, American soldiers in Syria. In the meeting, they went in and they killed ISIS, and now they killed. Second day, they went to Australia and killed a lot of Jews. Very, very upset. I'm very, very sad about the Jews killed. ISIS on the rise again. It seems, unfortunately, we need to do something. We have President Trump. He promised to cooperate with the new Syrian president to take out ISIS once forever. They are very, very dangerous terrorists. We don't like them at all. Let's hope they succeed in Syria, taking out ISIS. We don't like ISIS. So they were from Syria here. almost 1 hour talking about these guys. Very important just to connect spaceship with the Bible. And see, here we're talking about the king of Babylon, who is connected to Hilal bin Shahar, the morning star here, and connected to the underworld, Rephaim. They are trying to connect to the giants, to the fallen angels, fallen Anunnaki, also called Nephilim, Anakim. They are dead rulers who are Rephaim will not rise. So there's a culture of you sleep near their graves, or you give them food while they are dead, or like something like that. So they get help from them, and then they will rise and the resurrection, and they will help you in wars, of course, because the connection. So Danel, Ugaritic Danilu in Ezekiel. So now that's confirmed that the original of Daniel in the Bible is from Ugarit. Daniel of the Agat epic at Ugarit, he was identified as Rapum. So Daniel actually was one of these guys with spaceships. So Prophet Daniel, spaceships connection to the Rapum. So these guys are not bad all the time. Not all the giants are bad. We talked about this stuff. There's good giants. There are good, the bad giants, spaceships, some good, with spaceships, some bad with spaceships. So talked about Galactic Federation and all this stuff, extraterrestrials, and we showed a lot of spaceships belonging to the Galactic Federation. These are extraterrestrials. Many try to deny this stuff. This is from the Bible. So this guy who denies the existence of extraterrestrials or denies the existence of spaceships is deceiving, has nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with Jesus Christ. So anybody denying the existence of UFOs and extraterrestrials has nothing to do with Christianity, with Jesus Christ, with Judaism, with Islam. These guys, you know them directly when they start saying there's no UFO ships, there's no extraterrestrials. All this stuff is mentioned here, people. So this is why I get upset. There's a guy preaching about Jesus Christ, and suddenly he says, there's no UFO ships. These are man made. There's no extraterrestrials. These are Masonic. These are Illuminati. And so on and so on. So the Bible has a negative assessment about these guys, but of course it is from origin Ugarit and Phoenicia, and they have borrowed the prophet, and then they say the prophet against, but the prophet himself was connected to these guys. Understand, people? They change stuff. So now we know Daniel is the prophet of Elu, and we show that Elu is actually sky god Anu from the Sumerian religion. So if you want to read more about this stuff, so you got this one here. This one you need to check this video if you want to investigate further. This video is called Canaan 6 Agat. This is the tale, and Daniel, all this story podcast. So here another connection to Agat. This is the story from the Ugarit. And even we have this one, this guy. Please check this guy also. It is called the smoking gun. Daniel is an ancient Canaanite myth. So everything they say from some is not from the Bible. They say it is mythology because the scientific world does uh, believe the Bible. Actually, it seems like everything is the Bible comes like scientific, but when it is not from the Bible, it is not scientific, but rather mythology. This is what I'm trying to say. So this is all this story, Canon 6, Agat and Daniel, all the story podcast. And this is here the Smoking Gun by the Myth Vision podcast. Smoking Gun, Daniel is the ancient Canaanite. So we have a lot of pictures. I'm gonna show you some pictures. I remember last time we were showing here. Last time here, spaceships. Let's see here. It was 12. Let's see here. I'm gonna show you some pictures. So very bad. This happened in Australia. Very bad. It was ISIS. So these guys you have seen, I believe this is what we have been showing lately. And this guy, I'm gonna show you a little bit pictures and finish. So we're talking just to connect the connection between the Jesus Christ, Bible, God, and spaceships. So here we have it, 10 of December, 2 p.m. Spaceship of King Anu here. Make a pic for you. This is the one here. You see here. So we have it here also. And here, so come to, this is the one here. So here we have it. And here we have it. This picture is good. Actually, we're gonna take this one. So maybe I've been shouting, but of course this is very very sensitive. I become angry when somebody is trying to claim he knows about the Bible but does not do a real research, just to disconnect between Jesus Christ and the spaceship and this stuff. This is from the Bible, people. I showed you. This is from Daniel, who is from Ugarit and Darapu. 10 of December, 8 p.m. Spaceship of King Anu here. And we have it here. Let's see what it is. We have it here. This is very nice picture here also. So we have this picture also. And this, see the bluish color. Very nice indeed. So now if somebody wants to discuss this stuff, this stuff, where it is originated, and this is spaceship Anu as well. And here it is as well. And you see the colors here, this color, and let's put this color here, maybe. And this is also spaceship of King Anu, the Most High, creator of all. So this one, I think this one. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you some pictures. You see, this color is amazing, people. Amazing. We're gonna watch a little bit. I'm gonna make this video rather long, rather long. So need to put the stuff all together. I was talking 1 hour about trying to show you some kind of connection to the spaceship, chariots of God, fire chariots, took Elijah up to heaven. This one. Shouting. This one is very, very good. Don't you think that? You agree? I know stuff. This is very nice picture actually. We're gonna put it on the thumbnail. So they don't really know. They don't really know. They don't really know about their own religion. People, they don't they confused. Talk about Islam. We say the Islam, they praying on the Prophet. Say God, Allah is praying on the Prophet. Actually, when Jesus Christ was baptized by John the Baptist in the river, in the Jordan River, a dove came down from God and the heaven opened up. And this is Muhammad. We saw talked about what is the word Muhammad in Arabic, meaning the one who is baptized. And they mix it with Muhammad because it is written Muhammad in Syriac, but it is spelled Muhammad. Please watch the video I was talking. Prophet Muhammad is Jesus Christ. So they say Allah is praying on Prophet Muhammad. Actually, it is God praying uh, like on Jesus Christ when he was baptized in the river of Jordan. So they get confused. This is what I think. Maybe if they think differently, but in my opinion, they um, mixed Muhammad, the letter Ain, like Moaamad. So they put the letter H uh, instead for the letter Ain. So Muhammad is not Muhammad. You see, this is they mixed. They changed the word from Muhammad, that is Jesus Christ, who was baptized by John on the river Jordan, and God like sent the dove, and he was very pleased. They taken this from the Syriac, put it in the Holy Quran, and they don't really know. So you ask them, when did God pray on the Prophet Muhammad? When Allah prayed on Prophet? They don't know. I tell you, they did that, or God did that when Jesus Christ, Muhammad, was baptized in the river Jordan. So my opinion, of course, they can have other opinion. So all this messed up people is not made by people. It's made by fallen angels, by Marduk. Unfortunately, they don't want us people to worship the real God, Anu, the Most High. We see his spaceship every day, almost every day. He is with us every day. Not people, not people. They believe, not a lot of people. They believe because of the brainwashing generation after generation. They are afraid to know about that one. The family, they will kick them out, and their friends and the society will not accept a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew to believe in, they say, pagan. They don't know that their gods are imaginary, like Allah. There's no Allah, there's no Yahweh. Like I showed you before, these are names. Uh, like we don't know really Yahweh. The name Yahweh is from Yahoo, or is it Baal? Is it Marduk? Is it Haddad? They don't even know themselves. They don't know Allah is actually meaning the Lord or the God. It's not the name. Yahweh is from Yahoo, and Yahoo is the moon god in Egypt, and Yah also Yah is the moon god, and Weh. And also we have Yah is La, and Allah and Aliyah the same. Moon god in Egypt. So they are confused. But we know that the characters of Yahweh very, very much like Marduk. Actually the same story in the Bible, creation of earth and people from Tiamat is absorbed into the Genesis and the creation of In the Bible is taken from Babylonia. They changed the word Marduk to Yahweh. Unfortunately, people they don't know this stuff, and this is what we have in the sky. We are watching this stuff, people. We don't really know what it is. Trying to make the cloud test to be sure. We move on. This stuff here, we don't know what it is. You see, I'm dealing with the dust issue. I'm dealing with the reflection issue. Going good, and still. So 120 or 1 hour 20 minutes. This is 10 of December. See 8 p.m. Spaceship of King Anu the Most High. Uranus mentioned in the Holy Bible. Father of Jesus Christ, Father of all, Creator of life, the one who judges on Judgment Day, God of love, God of peace. We love our Father Anu. He is providing God of peace, God of love. This image, uh, a lot of colors, giving out a lot of colors. Put it on the thumbnail. I know this stuff is very sensitive. People will not accept brainwashed and programmed and stuff like that. They feel the society will not accept that. They're very afraid to think outside the box, to believe their own eyes. I'm showing this stuff. They think they don't believe. And they say, oh, God, spaceship. They don't connect. And I showed you now the connection. And it is from the Bible. It is from Danel, Danilu. Ilu is Anu, Ilanu, God, the Most High. We are watching his spaceship, and we pray to Most High Anu to have his will, just like in heaven, in the sky, also on earth, because we are fed up with the killing, the bloodshedding, and the killing and the revenge. We are tired, very tired, and the false religions, false gods. That's why they are going to continue this killing forever and ever because of these false gods. Unfortunately, if they had believed in Anu, they would not do this stuff. Understand, people? They are sinning against God, and many of the top dogs they know that this is God, and they are worshiping Batman, Spider Man, just to continue the killing and the bloodshed that the false Anunnaki, fallen Anunnaki, fallen gods, false gods, devils, and demons, they demand blood to survive. They stop the killing, all these gods will disappear. All these false gods will disappear, and the only God will remain forever and ever on his throne, and he is everywhere, is God Anu, An, King An, like in the Holy Quran. Quranu, this is the Father of all, this is Creator of life, this is who grants forever life, and this is the one who decides who will enter his kingdom, that is kingdom of God, that Jesus Christ he described as uh, not here on earth, but where is the throne, where is the king of, where is the tree of life, with protected with the two angelic beings called uh, Angel Gabriel and Angel Michael, known as Tammuzid, and Ninik Zida. These are two angels, and they were first mentioned in the Sumerian religion, then were taken away, called different names, taken away, borrowed to the Bible and the Holy Quran and the Holy Bible. Originated from the Sumerian. This is giving colors, and now we have 130. See how it's changing all the time. Spaceship of Keanu. This picture also, we see it something up here in the sky. We don't know really what it is. We are investigating. This is 12th of December. Spaceship of Keanu. We have this one here, and let's try to finish. 5 minutes, and we finished. This will be a rather long video. Um, Not good to talk about what's going on in the world. I get upset. I get sad. Very sad to kill people just because they are different race or different religion, believe something else, and you go kill them and then revenge, and you don't. And this is will not never end. This is nonsense. It's not why we were created for, not to kill each other. This is rather satanic what they are doing. Very, very disgusting. Very, very like this is, we are not animals. If they believe they are animals, I'm happy to tell them we are not animals. We don't do this stuff. God is not God of revenge. God is God of peace and love. This is God. And this is the devil who believe in revenge and war and killing and blood. So it is up to you. Either you choose God of heaven, Anu, the Most High, or you choose the other false gods or devils with their different names, and they go engaging in the killing forever and ever, and you will never feel peace in you. You will never get to know Anu, and you will never know happiness. You will never be happy. Even if you continue killing, you will never be happy. You cannot live to kill. Is not That's why we were created. We were created to worship the real living God, Anu, and he's showing his spaceship almost each day so we can believe in him and repent from our sins and our. So this is, you can check with the archive, 12th of December, spaceship of Keanu here coming up. This is freaking sighting from the 12th of December. Just look how it is doing. I have videos, but I'm not gonna show it. Maybe I'm gonna show one video. I'm gonna finish. So this is 4 sightings here. I'm gonna show you only one video. Again, we're gonna finish. Only one video. I'm gonna show it. So showing pictures, talking about religion, talking about spaceship, Daniel, the prophet of God, Anu, as I showed you. So this one is good. Picture, you're gonna take this picture. So here we have some dust. Try to take it here. So yeah, I'm gonna show it. You see here this line. See this bluish. I'm gonna show it one to you, and then we finish. Spaceship working on, of course. So this one, this one here. There's another sighting, one up here. So one video, I can do it. One video and show live. Spaceship working on live, and I'm gonna finish almost 1.5 hour. So that was important for me to show you the connection between the prophets and spaceships in the Bible. In the Bible. And we know now that Daniel is prophet of God Anu. So I write Daniel, the prophet of Anu, and his spaceships, or his spaceship. Here it is, people. So first, maybe first connection between Anu and the Old Testament Bible. It was not easy because they themselves, they don't know. They don't really know. They are confused who is who, and this confusion is evidence. They have lied, they have denied God, and they have changed his name to other fictional gods just to hide his majesty, just to hide his life from people, just to cut their relation to our Father in heaven. Amen. And this is, they're gonna be punished. Of course, they're gonna be punished for what they have done. We will never forgive them. And God will punish them. Anu will punish them for what they have done, trying to make people worship the devil, the devils, demons, and fallen angels, instead worshiping the real God, who is the creator of all, most powerful, who sits on his throne forever, and he is with us in the sky each second, every time we want to have God Anu. He is around us, helping us. He is listening to our prayers. Please, please, God, help us, help us, help us to stop this crazy word of blood and killing and war. But people, they will never repent, will never repent until it's too late. They will be punished, of course, what they have done with their killings and the never ending wars. So very, very upset situation in the world. Just to satisfy these demons, these gods, these war lords, just to destroy earth and kill people and create this kind of misery on earth. So nobody will believe, and they will say, ah, there's no God. Oh, there's no God. When they don't even look up in the sky or try to search for God or try to receive the love of God that is present everywhere. So, fed up with these deities, fallen angels, and all their followers, and their time is nigh, very, very near. They will be punished very soon. Promise you, everybody is engaged in this killing will be punished very, very soon. That's a promise. I promise you that, people. Repent now before it's too late. Repent, I say. And the leaders, they are taking advantage of the innocent people, engaging them in these wars. Spaceship of King Anu, the Most High Creator, all this must be used on the thumbnail. You don't get the task following. This one is good actually. We have a lot of pictures to pick one. See the colors, amazing colors. Three colors in one picture. See this one's like it's changing all the time. Spaceship, and here it is as well. And that's why in the end times, love will disappear from the people. And there's, like Jesus Christ, he said, what is the meaning of people living if they like the salt? If you don't have salt, they get dry. Without the salt, there's no need for earth. Earth will be destroyed when humans they are dried out from the love. They are dried out from the salt. Just like the salt, when it is spoiled, You get water on the salt, it's spoiled. There's no need for the salt. There's no need for humans. Sorry, I'm telling this stuff. Humans will not exist if you continue to do this evil stuff we are doing. Humans will be extinguished. They will disappear. They will vanish. Even Earth will disappear very soon because of what they are doing in the Holy Land and other places in the world. The killing, and they say, oh, we are doing that for God. No, 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 they are doing that for the devil. They all worship the same devil and they engaged in killing. And Jesus Christ, he said, this is not my kingdom. Do not engage in this stuff. Do not go and kill. And people, they ignore what Jesus Christ, he said. And they're going to learn the hard way. If you put your finger in the fire, you're going to get burned. Spaceship of King Anu, the Most High Creator of all. And I'm showing with evidence spaceship of God, the Most High, the Prophet Daniel. All the prophets worship this God, not the other fake gods. This is Anu, or Anos, Father of all. All praise to Most High King Anu. We finished with one video. I know this video is very long. We finished with one video. I'm getting rather tired in my hand, and my voice will disappear very soon. So, yeah, this is another picture here. So let's see this video. I guess this is the one. I'm gonna show you one video only because let's see here. Is this one? This is the one here. I'm gonna show it to you. See, you can put it. So you can hold two phones at the same time. Is this the one? Let's see if you can do like that. So yeah, I believe this is the one. You see, it's snowing hard, snowing hard. And here it comes, spaceship of Keanu. Here you see it coming up from the horizon. It is snowing, it is windy. No aircraft can do that. No airplane can do that. This is spaceship of God, Anu, recorded yesterday. It's in Switzerland. Live. You see how it's blowing and snow is coming, and it is still flying. No airplane, helicopter, or drone can do that. Spaceship of God, Anu, the Most High Creator of all. All praise to the Most High King Anu, Creator of life. See how it's going up, 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 up. So we're trying to zoom out, and I'm gonna show you the time, so you know you can check with the archive. And yeah, I'm gonna show you the time. You see here the time showing you, maybe not so clear. See, that was live. You see, this is yesterday 21. You see, it went down here. So it went up, up, and down. This is spaceship of God, of course. And we are going to show it. We're going to see it one more time before we finish. Hopefully you enjoy this one. Please, please like and share so I continue my journey. I am very happy to show you what I have been recording, and hopefully you will enjoy showing your friends and seeing God on while in our skies. So see you can follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. See the flying through the wind, and I lost it here. Here it is. Still see it, still see it. You see the wind? See how fast it's going? hard, like I said, to have this. And here it comes behind these numbers from beneath, it comes down. See? Yeah, so that's all, people. Blessings.